Have you ever paused in the middle of your busy life and asked yourself, does what I'm doing really matter? We chase success, recognition, and comfort, yet something inside us whispers that there is a deeper purpose waiting to be discovered, a meaning that lasts long after applause fades, money runs out, and titles lose their shine. Today, we're going to uncover that truth and learn how to live a life that endures beyond the temporary. Every human heart carries a longing that cannot be ignored, a deep, persistent desire to understand why we exist, what our lives truly mean, and what significance our actions hold. From the moment we are born, we begin searching for answers to questions that cannot be fully satisfied by the fleeting pleasures or accomplishments the world offers. We see children chasing dreams, adults climbing career ladders, and elders reflecting on a lifetime of experiences, all driven by this same fundamental pursuit, the search for meaning. It is as if there is an internal compass placed within us by a higher design that pushes us to seek something lasting, something beyond ourselves. This longing is not superficial. It is not merely a wish for comfort or temporary happiness. It is the soul's cry for purpose, a call for significance that cannot be measured by wealth, status, or social recognition. When people pursue things that fade, like material possessions, titles, or accolades, they often discover an emptiness that no achievement can fill. The applause of others fades quickly, the praise of peers is fleeting, and the thrill of success diminishes over time. In those moments, the heart realizes that it was made for something greater than what the world offers, and that a deeper satisfaction is available only when life aligns with its true purpose. This longing for enduring meaning also manifests in our choices, our ambitions, and our relationships. People invest time and energy in endeavors they hope will matter, in relationships they hope will last, and in contributions they hope will leave a mark. Even when circumstances are difficult, when setbacks and failures occur, this inner search persists. It drives innovation, inspires courage, and fuels resilience. Without it, life would feel empty, repetitive, and directionless. This hunger for significance is evidence that we are not made for mediocrity or mere survival. We are made to live with intention and to pursue a purpose that transcends the temporary, the superficial, and the fleeting. Recognizing this longing is crucial because it signals that life is more than what is immediately visible. It challenges individuals to look beyond the surface of daily routines, beyond the temporary highs and lows, and to pursue something that will satisfy the heart's deepest needs. It reminds us that true fulfillment cannot be found in what fades, but in what endures. Understanding this longing sets the stage for discovering the higher vision and deeper purpose that will ultimately guide a life towards significance. Too often, the world presents a false narrative about what gives life meaning. From an early age, we are bombarded with messages that success is measured by wealth, power, fame, or social standing. Advertisements, media, and even cultural norms reinforce the idea that if we accumulate enough possessions, earn enough recognition, or achieve certain milestones, we will finally feel fulfilled. But these are illusions. They offer the appearance of significance, yet underneath, they are fleeting and hollow. People may chase these markers of success with intensity, only to find that the satisfaction they bring is temporary and shallow, leaving a lingering emptiness that no amount of money, status, or accolades can fill. Consider wealth, for example. Money can provide comfort, security, and opportunities, but it cannot give life purpose. A person can have vast riches and yet feel a profound sense of dissatisfaction or loneliness. They may possess the finest homes, the most luxurious cars, and the latest gadgets, but in the quiet moments of reflection, they recognize that material abundance cannot satisfy the soul's hunger for lasting significance. Wealth can be spent, lost, or devalued. It cannot anchor meaning in a life that seeks something enduring. Power and influence carry a similar illusion. Positions of authority and control can command respect or even admiration from others, yet they cannot guarantee fulfillment. Those who seek significance through dominance often discover that the admiration of people is conditional and inconsistent. Influence is fleeting, alliances can shift, and recognition is often temporary. The pursuit of power may bring short-term pleasure or a sense of accomplishment, but it cannot provide a foundation that withstands the tests of time or the challenges of life's hardships. Even social status and recognition can mislead. A title, a degree, or an honorary position may bring attention, but attention is not the same as purpose. It is external and dependent on circumstances outside of one's control. While the world applauds momentarily, it quickly moves on, leaving the individual with the stark realization that applause does not equate to enduring meaning. Ultimately, the world's definitions of success are enticing because they promise fulfillment in tangible, visible ways, but they are built on shifting sands. They are temporary markers that distract from the deeper search for purpose. When we rely on external measures to validate our lives, we set ourselves up for disappointment, frustration, and disillusionment. True, lasting meaning cannot be purchased, achieved, or flaunted. It must be discovered through a deeper, more enduring source, something beyond the temporary and superficial pursuits that the world esteems so highly. True meaning begins with a higher vision, an understanding that life is not a series of random events, but rather a journey guided by purpose and intentional design. Many people live as though their existence is accidental, moving from one day to the next without pausing to consider the greater significance of their actions. They focus on immediate gratification, short-term goals, and surface-level achievements, often missing the larger picture. But life has a depth that cannot be discovered through casual observation or self-centered pursuits. To uncover enduring meaning, we must elevate our vision, looking beyond the temporary and the ordinary to see the eternal and the purposeful thread that weaves through our lives. A higher vision calls us to live with intentionality. It challenges us to ask questions that matter. Why am I here? What is my life meant to accomplish? How can my actions today impact the world tomorrow? Without this perspective, it is easy to become lost in the chaos of daily responsibilities or distracted by the illusions of success that fade with time. But when we adopt a vision rooted in something greater than ourselves, we begin to see our circumstances differently. Struggles are no longer meaningless obstacles. They become opportunities for growth, learning, and preparation for greater impact. Daily routines gain significance when aligned with a purpose that transcends the immediate moment. This higher vision also inspires resilience. When life presents challenges, setbacks, or losses, a person who understands a greater purpose does not crumble under pressure or lose hope. Instead, they view adversity as part of a larger plan, a stepping stone toward the fulfillment of something enduring. Their choices are guided not by fear or impulse, but by the understanding that each step has potential to contribute to a meaningful trajectory. This perspective transforms ordinary actions into purposeful acts, imbuing even the smallest decisions with significance. Furthermore, a higher vision connects our lives to something eternal. It reminds us that true meaning is not found in temporary recognition or fleeting achievements, but in living in alignment with values, principles, and purposes that last. It motivates us to invest in relationships, service, and contributions that extend beyond ourselves and reach into the lives of others. By seeing life through the lens of higher purpose, we cultivate a sense of direction, fulfillment, and impact that the world's superficial definitions of success cannot provide. Embracing this vision requires reflection, courage, and commitment. It demands that we pause, step back from the noise of daily life, and intentionally align our actions with a purpose greater than our immediate desires. True meaning is anchored in service, in the act of giving ourselves to others and investing in lives beyond our own. Many people spend their entire lives seeking personal gain, recognition, or comfort, believing that fulfillment is found in what they can accumulate. But lasting purpose is rarely discovered in self-centered pursuits. It is discovered in selfless acts that touch the lives of others. When we shift our focus from what we can get to what we can give, we begin to tap into a source of satisfaction and significance that transcends circumstances and endures far beyond our own lifetime. Service is not always dramatic or widely recognized. Often it is quiet, unseen, and even inconvenient. It might be a kind word to someone who is struggling, a moment of patience with someone who frustrates us, or a consistent commitment to help others grow. These acts, though seemingly small, carry eternal weight because they reflect a heart aligned with higher purpose. The world may not notice, and applause may never come, but the impact of these actions resonates in ways that cannot be measured by popularity, wealth, or status. True fulfillment comes from knowing that our efforts contribute to something greater than ourselves and that our lives leave a positive imprint on those around us. Serving others also cultivates empathy, humility, and perspective. When we step outside of our own desires and challenges to meet the needs of someone else, we are reminded that life is interconnected and that our actions matter beyond ourselves. We begin to see the struggles, hopes, and potential of others, and we are moved to respond with love, compassion, and generosity. This perspective shifts our priorities from temporary gain to enduring impact, from fleeting recognition to lasting significance. Moreover, service strengthens the foundation of character and purpose. A life devoted to others builds resilience, integrity, and a sense of calling that no circumstance can easily shake. It teaches patience in times of frustration, perseverance in the face of difficulty, and faithfulness when rewards are not immediate. Each act of service becomes a stepping stone toward discovering a deeper, more meaningful life, one rooted not in what we acquire, but in what we give, nurture, and protect. Through service, we discover that true meaning is relational and eternal. It is expressed in love, generosity, and sacrifice. It is not dependent on the applause of others, but on the quiet satisfaction of knowing that our lives have made a difference, that our hands have lifted someone, and that our actions have contributed to something far greater than ourselves. Enduring meaning is built on faith that transcends circumstance, a belief that anchors the soul when life is unpredictable, difficult, or painful. Every person will face seasons of struggle, loss, disappointment, failure, and uncertainty are part of the human experience. Without a foundation that reaches beyond the shifting sands of circumstance, it is easy to become discouraged, to question the value of life, or to lose sight of purpose entirely. Faith provides stability in the storms, clarity in confusion, and hope when everything around us seems to be falling apart. It is the lens through which we can see life not merely as a sequence of events, but as a journey with meaning and direction. Faith that transcends circumstance is not passive, it is active and intentional. It is the choice to trust in something greater than what is immediately visible, to believe that even when we do not understand the why behind life's challenges, there is a plan at work that has ultimate significance. This type of faith empowers individuals to persevere, to act with courage, and to continue pursuing purpose even when results are delayed or outcomes are uncertain. It does not deny the reality of difficulty, but it transforms how we respond to it, allowing us to maintain perspective, hope, and determination in the face of trials. Moreover, faith shapes the decisions we make and the priorities we set. When life is seen through the lens of the eternal rather than the temporary, choices are guided by values and principles that endure. We become less focused on immediate gratification or superficial success and more committed to actions that produce lasting impact. Faith encourages patience, resilience, and a willingness to invest in things that matter over the long term. Even when the benefits are not immediately apparent, it gives strength to stand for what is right, to serve others faithfully, and to pursue purpose relentlessly despite opposition or setbacks. Faith also provides a sense of peace and contentment that the world cannot offer. While circumstances may fluctuate and challenges may arise, the individual grounded in enduring faith experiences a stability that is not dependent on external conditions. It fosters confidence that life has meaning, that struggles are not wasted, and that every season contributes to growth and fulfillment. Faith connects us to a reality beyond ourselves, reminding us that our lives are part of a larger story, one that carries eternal significance and ultimate purpose. Through faith that transcends circumstance, meaning is no longer fragile or conditional. It becomes a firm foundation, a guiding light, and a source of resilience that empowers the individual to navigate life with hope, courage, and unwavering commitment to purpose. Discovering true meaning requires intentionality and discipline, a conscious commitment to align our daily lives with a purpose that transcends the immediate and the temporary. Many people drift through life responding to circumstances as they arise, allowing distractions, impulses, and fleeting desires to dictate their choices. This kind of life may feel busy, productive even, but it often lacks depth and direction. Lasting significance is not found in randomness or in reactive living. It is cultivated through deliberate actions, consistent habits, and decisions rooted in a clear understanding of what truly matters. Intentionality begins with clarity. It demands that we pause and ask ourselves fundamental questions. What am I living for? What principles guide my decisions? What kind of impact do I want to leave behind? Without these reflections, life becomes a series of unconnected moments, each passing without contributing to a greater narrative. When we live intentionally, every choice, every conversation, every effort, every investment of time carries weight and purpose. Our days are no longer dictated by urgency or distraction. They are guided by vision and deliberate pursuit of significance. Discipline is the companion of intentionality. It is the ability to prioritize what is meaningful over what is convenient or immediately gratifying. Discipline allows us to persevere when motivation wanes, to act rightly when temptation beckons, and to maintain focus when life becomes chaotic. It is the bridge between knowing what matters and consistently living it out. Without discipline, even the clearest vision remains unrealized, and the pursuit of purpose falters. Furthermore, intentionality and discipline cultivate resilience. Life will inevitably present obstacles, unforeseen challenges, setbacks, and failures. Those who live deliberately and maintain disciplined habits are better equipped to navigate these difficulties without losing sight of their higher purpose. Their actions are grounded in long-term vision rather than short-term emotion, and they are able to endure trials with patience and perseverance. Living with intentionality also fosters growth and transformation. By consistently choosing actions aligned with purpose, we develop character, wisdom, and a sense of fulfillment that cannot be attained through convenience or passivity. Each decision becomes a building block, shaping not only the life we lead today, but also the legacy we leave behind. Ultimately, intentionality and discipline create a life that is coherent, focused, and meaningful. They transform ordinary routines into deliberate steps towards significance, turning daily choices into expressions of a higher purpose. Through these practices, we learn to navigate life not as passive participants, but as active pursuers of enduring meaning, crafting a path that reflects vision, commitment, and lasting impact. True meaning is inseparable from the concept of legacy, the lasting impact and influence we leave behind long after our immediate presence fades. Many people live as if life ends with them, focusing solely on the here and now, seeking temporary satisfaction or fleeting recognition. Yet, the pursuit of enduring significance calls us to think beyond the immediate, to consider how our choices, actions, and character will ripple into the lives of others and into the future. A meaningful life is measured not by what we accumulate for ourselves, but by what we contribute, nurture, and inspire in others. Legacy begins with the recognition that our lives matter to more than just ourselves. Every interaction, every act of kindness, every decision carries potential to shape the world around us. When we invest in others, mentoring, teaching, supporting, or loving, we create threads of influence that extend far beyond our immediate sphere. The impact of these investments may not be fully visible in the present, but over time, they grow, touch multiple generations, and contribute to something far greater than individual achievement. A meaningful legacy is relational, rooted in service, encouragement, and integrity, and it is preserved in the hearts and lives of those we affect. Living with legacy in mind also changes the way we approach challenges and setbacks. When we understand that our lives are part of a larger story, we are more willing to endure hardships, make sacrifices, and maintain integrity in difficult situations. We become less concerned with short-term gratification or external approval and more committed to actions that have lasting significance. Decisions are made not solely for immediate benefit, but with foresight, considering how they will shape the future and impact others positively. Moreover, a focus on legacy inspires purpose-driven living. It motivates us to prioritize what is truly important, to cultivate character, to develop skills, and to invest in relationships that matter. It teaches patience, perseverance, and faithfulness because meaningful influence often unfolds over time. A life invested in legacy recognizes that even small acts of goodness or courage can have exponential effects when rooted in consistency, love, and intentionality. Ultimately, legacy connects the present with eternity. It is a reminder that our lives are not isolated or insignificant, that the choices we make today reverberate beyond what we can immediately see. By living with an awareness of the impact we leave behind, we participate in a narrative larger than ourselves, one that carries the power to inspire, transform, and endure across generations. Practical self-reflection is an essential component of uncovering true meaning, for it allows us to examine the life we are living and assess whether it aligns with our deepest values and purposes. Many people move through life on autopilot, responding to external pressures, societal expectations, or fleeting desires without pausing to consider whether their choices are producing significance that endures. Self-reflection provides the opportunity to step back, evaluate our priorities, and ask the hard questions that lead to clarity and intentional living. It is through this process that we uncover whether we are truly pursuing what matters or merely chasing illusions of success. Engaging in practical self-reflection requires honesty and courage. It means looking at our actions, habits, and decisions with an unflinching eye and acknowledging areas where we may have strayed from our intended path. This may involve recognizing patterns of behavior that are unproductive, harmful, or misaligned with our values. It may require admitting mistakes, facing uncomfortable truths, or confronting times when we prioritize temporary satisfaction over lasting impact. While this process can be challenging, it is essential for growth because without awareness, there can be no meaningful change or alignment with purpose. Self-reflection also helps us identify the areas of our lives where we are already making a positive difference, allowing us to celebrate successes and build on strengths. By taking stock of the ways we contribute, serve, and influence those around us, we gain insight into what is working well and what brings fulfillment. This awareness fuels confidence, motivation, and a clearer sense of direction, guiding us toward actions and choices that are consistent with our vision for a meaningful life. Moreover, self-reflection provides perspective. Life can be busy, chaotic, and overwhelming, and it is easy to lose sight of the bigger picture in the midst of daily demands. By intentionally reflecting on our purpose, values, and goals, we gain a broader view of our journey. We begin to see how individual decisions fit into the larger narrative of our lives, how challenges and setbacks contribute to growth, and how our consistent efforts can leave a lasting impact. Practical self-reflection is not a one-time exercise, but a continual practice, a rhythm of pausing, evaluating, and adjusting. It is a tool for intentional living, helping us to live consciously rather than reactively, to prioritize what truly matters, and to ensure that our lives are moving in the direction of lasting significance. In the end, lasting meaning is not found in what the world applauds or what we can accumulate for ourselves. It is discovered when we live with purpose, serve others, trust in something greater, and reflect on the life we are building. A life aligned with these principles leaves a legacy, touches hearts, and fulfills the soul in ways nothing temporary ever can.